Alright, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Now it's been a few weeks since I posted a video. The reason for that is that I've been away, so I just didn't have any time to film anything. But we are finally back now with a really cool PSA return, so let's just get right into it. First up in this submission were a few wavy unlimited cards. Nothing crazy in terms of the value on these. They're just cards that I find cool. I always enjoy, finding them in good condition. This right leg, I previously subbed with the rest of an Exodia set, and the rest of the set all got 9s. This one got a 7, which I didn't understand at all. It's pretty much a mint card aside from the centering. So I thought I'd resub it, try and get the consecutive 9 set, and that's what it got, mint 9. So yeah, nothing crazy in terms of value, but it is cool to have the complete set now with the other 4 pieces that I already had. Next card in the submission is another wavy unlimited card. This time it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon. You guys can see that wavy texture there. Now this is a bit more significant in terms of value. I'd say a 9 on this is probably worth about $2,000 depending on the buyer and the exact card. Because with these unlimited cards, it kind of depends on the exact eye appeal, if it's faded or not, if it's got a deep texture or a lighter texture on the waves. This one has a pretty solid amount of texture. You guys can see there, that vertical rippling. It's not faded or anything like that, but it is really nice and clean. I was hoping for a 9 on this, but it got a near mint to mint 8. And the reason for that is just the centering. If you guys check out top to bottom, it's pretty shifted upwards. So I did think the 8 was possible. And now that it's got this grade, I'm probably going to crack it and send it to CGC. Because with CGC, no matter how bad the card is in terms of centering, it can always still get a 9 if the other condition subgrades are 9 or higher. Next up is another wavy unlimited card. This time it's a Dark Magician. I actually subbed 2 of them in this submission, but the other one I sold as soon as I got the grade back to a friend of mine, so I didn't get to include it in this video. That one got an 8, and when I sent the pair of them, I was really hoping that I might get a 9 on one, and this one did get a mint 9. So again, very cool card, and it's pretty difficult to get these as 10s. I think there's like 2 or 3 wavy unlimited Dark Magician 10s out there, but I've never really had the chance to buy one or been in a position to buy one, so I'm happy with a 9. I already have a Red Eyes wavy 9 as well, so it makes a nice set, and I would love to get a Blue Eyes as well someday as a PSA 9, but like I said, I'm probably going to send the other one to CGC just because it's a safer option. Alright, now we have some classic First Ed, like LOB-AST era holos. Most of these, I believe, are from the big mail day I posted a while back of just pure like LOB-AST First Ed stuff. And it was all really clean, especially the stuff I sent in this submission. I had some lower end cards and less good condition cards, which I sent in an $18 submission in July when that was open. So we'll get those back at a later date, not sure exactly when. But yeah, these are the better cards from that collection buy. So first off, this Harpy Lady Sisters. I thought this was very, very clean. Pretty sure it would get a 10. And that's what it got, Gem Mint 10. I'm not really going for a full MRD holo set, but with cards like this, where they're just super nostalgic, I'm happy to just keep them on the side anyway as part of the collection. Next up is a slightly faded Sanger of the Thunder. It's not a strong fade, but if I bring back the Harpy Lady, you guys can probably see that the coloring is a little bit lighter than the Harpy, which is pretty much full saturation. Again, this was very, very clean. In the past, I might even have tried this for BGS for a BGS 10 because pretty much it's a flawless card and the centering is very good. But just with my recent experiences with BGS, I didn't feel like it was worth it because I've had cards which I thought would get pristines and they didn't even get 9.5s. So yeah, it's just not worth the effort at this point. So I just went with the PSA, hoping for a 10, and we got that Gem Mint 10. Alright, next card, I sent 4 of the same card, which is Archlord Zerato from AST. Awesome ultra rare. 3 of these were from that collection that I bought, and the last one was just one that I picked up on eBay a while back. Again, I was hoping for a couple of 10s here. I thought 2 of them were a bit too OC for a 10, and the others would get 10s, hopefully. All of them are super clean. Just, you can see this one's got top to bottom centering issues. So this one got a 9. The next one I think is a bit better centered, but it is shifted left to right. So again, I expected most likely a 9 on this, and that's what it got. The third copy, to be honest, had pretty solid centering. This one I thought would get a 10, but we just got another mint 9. So I might resub that. But the final copy, which was the best centered, I believe, out of all 4 of them, I was very hopeful this would get a 10, and it did. So very, very cool card to grade. It's the cover card of Ancient Sanctuary, so that gives it kind of some significance to collectors. But even aside from that, it's just a badass card, very cool artwork. So yeah, very happy to have one of these in the collection. We still have another card from Ancient Sanctuary. This is a Burst Stream of Destruction, ultra rare. I thought this one was pretty touch and go with the centering. Again, very, very clean, but you guys can see it tilts a little bit. So in the middle, it's pretty much okay. At the top, it's getting a little bit borderline left or right. So it kind of just depends on the grader. Some graders would give this a 10, other graders would give it a 9. And the grade we got was a gem mint 10. Very, very cool again. I'm kind of surprised by the value on this and also Dark Magic Attack, because to me they're 2 of the coolest ultras from Ancient Sanctuary, but in general the prices are really low on them. Like I saw a PSA 9 auction for this card only went for like $50, which to me is just crazy when you consider the artwork and everything like that. Kind of the connections to the anime. I don't really understand why they're so cheap, but yeah, regardless of the price, still very happy to add this one to the collection. All right, next up is a card which I resubmitted a couple of times. Originally, this was a BGS 9.5. It had a 9 on surface, which was, in my opinion, unfair. It was pretty much a flawless card. So I cracked it, sent it to PSA, and it got a 9. But I just wasn't happy with that because honestly, it's an amazing condition card. Centering, yes, is a little bit tilted, but that's the same with pretty much any card from Magician's Force. So I decided to crack it, send it again, and this time we did get the gem mint 10. So this is one of the highlights of the submission. Very hard card to grade, gem mint, as with most of MFC, and just an awesome card in terms of artwork and everything. Next up, I think this was another resubmission. So this originally came from that collection I got, subbed it, and it got a 9. And I wasn't really sure why, because it's well centered, doesn't have any whitening, anything like that. So I decided to crack it, resubmit it, and this time it did get the gem mint 10. Magic Ruler in general is a very nostalgic set for me, and this is one of those cards that really just stands out. It's not like I played it back in the day or anything, but somehow the artwork just always stood out to me as being kind of unique for old school Yu-Gi-Oh! And I actually also picked up a very strong BGS 9.5 of this recently, so now I have 2 gems instead of 1. Alright, next card. This was a BGS 9. It had an 8.5 on surface, and I actually pulled this card myself. About 3 or 4 years ago, some TP6 packs popped up on Troll and Toad. They were insanely cheap at the time. They were like $4 or $4.50 per pack, and they had 5 packs in stock. So I just decided to go ahead, buy all 5 packs. I never expected to pull a holo considering how bad the odds are. It was just a good price for the pack, so I figured I'd buy them, scale them. If any of them were heavy, I'd open it up, but otherwise I'd just keep the packs as, just something nice to have in the collection. But when I got the packs in, I weighed them, and one of them did actually weigh more than the others, which was very surprising considering, like, A, you'd expect the previous owner to have scaled them already, and B, it's only 5 packs, so TP odds are 1 in 18 packs for a super rare, 1 in 108 for an ultra. So it's just not in your favor buying 5 packs in terms of pulling a holo. But yeah, I opened the heavy pack, and this is what I got, this Toon Cannon Soldier. And the reason it had an 8.5 on surface is because it has a very slight, not sure if you guys can see it. I think it's right around there. It's got a little weird kind of dimple in the back. It's not a dent. It was positioned first in the pack, so the back of the card was, it had another card behind it, so it couldn't possibly have been damaged in the pack. It's just a result of some weird factory defect with the cardstock. So that was why it had an 8.5 surface from BGS, but I figured since the rest of the card is clean, it's pretty well centered, it might have a shot for a PSA 10, so I decided to crack it, And we actually got it. We got a Gem Mint 10 on this. So very, very, very happy with this. I think it's the only TP Ultra I own is a PSA 10, and I'm definitely not going for the full set. I already sold my Needleworm, which I graded earlier this year. But yeah, considering I pulled this one myself, just makes it that little bit cooler. I'm very happy to have that in the collection as a 10. All right, next up we have a couple of Ghost Rares. This is a Majestic Star Dragon. I think this was a BGS 8 or maybe a weak 8.5. I thought it looked pretty good. It's got like one little spot of silvering on the top edge, but aside from that, it's very clean. The foil is spotless. So I thought I'd try it for PSA, hopefully at least get a 9. And we got a mint 9, so I'm happy with this one. I think I'll just keep it like this. And the other one I cracked was, this was a BGS 9.5, this Ancient Fairy Dragon. It's a little bit off center top to bottom, but not bad. And the back is really clean for one of these. Normally they have like some corner damage right up here. It's like every single copy you see pretty much. This one, if you look very, very close, there's maybe the tiniest bit of white, but it's super clean for an Ancient Fairy. So I thought I could get a 10. Unfortunately, we just got the mint 9 on this. So probably something I'm going to resub, because it for sure to me could get a 10 from a different grader. I assume the reason it didn't is centering, because it's a little bit borderline, but it's not bad at all. All right, next up, always love this card. This is V to Z Dragon Catapult Cannon from Elemental Energy. And this is a Euro print. So you guys can see it's got that really nice foil pop going on. I pretty much just sent this expecting a 9 because, I mean, Euro EEN cards are very tough to grade. This one is in great shape. None of the normal like corner cracks or anything like that you get on these. So I knew from a nice grader it might have a shot for a 10, but I definitely didn't expect it. And we actually got a Gem Mint 10, which is very cool. I'm not sure even on the population of this card in general, but especially in European print, I definitely haven't seen another gem before this. And we have another European ulti afterwards. This is a Treeborn Frog from Shadow of Infinity. This one was a little bit less good shape than the V to Z, so I figured pretty much it was not going to get a 10, but I still wanted to send it because it's a beautiful card in European print. Very hard to find, especially with the gold eye. This is just one of those cards where the silver eye first ed variant seems to be more common for whatever reason. So yeah, it's an awesome card. I just wanted it slabbed, even if it wasn't going to be a gem. And we got a mint 9, which is honestly still very cool. I don't think this card exists as a 10 in European print anyways. So yeah, this is about as good as it gets for this particular card. All right, next up, this is probably the craziest part of the sub. I sent 2 first ed ultimate rare Volcanic Doomfires from Force of the Breaker. Both of them were very good condition. One of them was cleaner than the other, so I figured we might get a 9 and a 10. Even I didn't necessarily expect the 10, but I figured it was a strong possibility. And if I got 2 9s, I would have been a little bit disappointed, but to be honest, I would have been okay with it. But yeah, the grades we got on these 2 Volcanic Doomfires was actually 2 Gem Mint 10s. Consecutive, so it's 55, 56, you guys can see there. So this is crazy. Very hard card to grade. I've had a few in the past, but they were always off center. Both of these have good centering. Pretty clean on the back as well. I think the 55 copy has like a little bit of edge wear on the right, so I figured that one wouldn't get a 10. But it's not a bad card overall, so I'm not too surprised to see that it did. It's just crazy to see 2 of these graded consecutively, considering how rare they are to find in gem-worthy condition. So yeah, massive highlight for me of this submission. The first copy, the 55, sorry, will probably be for sale because I don't really need 2 of them for my collection. But yeah, I'm not too sure on a price on it, so I'll probably put that one up for offers or something like that. All right, then we still have a few more ultis. First up is a Wild Wingman. This is an NA print, and this card, I don't know what's going on with it. So I think it got a 7 the first time I graded it. Then it got a 6. Then it got a 7 again, I believe. And I just had to keep cracking it every time because it's really not in bad shape. I've looked it over a lot. It's got some like ulti stamping, which I assume the graders are looking at like a bend. But overall, it's in really good shape, and I didn't see any reason why it kept getting like 6s and 7s. So I decided to resub it for either the third or the fourth time, I can't remember. And this time it got a mint 9. So I'd love to get a 10 on it, but to be honest, I'm just going to leave it at a 9 at this point because I've had so many bad grades already with it. So yeah, mint 9, Wild Wingman. And I'll probably sell it just because I have a European 9 already, so it doesn't really add anything for me. Alright, the next card is another head scratcher. Europrint Blade Edge. I sent this thinking it would get a 9. Maybe a 10 from an ice grader, but at least a 9. And it actually got a near mint 7. So yeah, bit of a disappointment, but I guess when you send this many cards to PSA, you always get at least 1 or 2 bad grades. So I'm okay with it. It might be because it's got kind of a cracked corner on the back or one of those Euro style issues like stamping as well. Like you guys can see the square pretty easily on it. But yeah, I'll just crack it and resubmit it, and hopefully it can get a 9. Alright, we have 3 cards left to go through. And all 3 of them are pretty big hitters. These are European print ultis from Elemental Energy. So here's a Wild Edge. You guys can see that awesome European foiling on it. This one was a 9 previously. I thought it could get a 10. It's very, very clean for a Euro copy of this card. And that's what it got. It got a gem mint 10. So that was very cool. Not necessarily expected, just because you never really expect 10s on this kind of stuff. The next card, again from Elemental Energy. This is a Rampart Blaster. This was a BGS 9. The Wild Edge was a BGS 9 as well. And I think it had Quad Plus subgrades. So I wasn't really going to cross it because I thought it was a fair enough grade. But now that I've kind of regraded all of my other heroes with PSA, I figured that it didn't really make sense to have one BGS and the rest PSA. So I decided to crack it, and even if it got a 9, I'd still be happy to have the matching set in terms of the grading company. And we actually got a Gem Mint 10, which kind of blew my mind. I'm not saying it's like a wrong grade or anything, it's just not what I expected. And this is a pretty significant card to get a 10 on as well. It's probably worth, I'd say, about $2,000 as a PSA 10, especially in European print. And we have one more hero. This was again a resubmission. Elemental Hero Thunder Giant from the Lost Millennium. I subbed this card right around the start of this year, along with some other Euro ultis. The others all got 10s, and this one got a 9. And originally I wasn't going to crack it because it is a little bit off center, especially at the bottom. But when I just saw all of my other heroes over the course of the year getting 10s, like the Shining Fair Wingman I got recently, and a few others as well, I thought I'd give this one more try, see if we could get a 10. And then we did actually manage it. We got a Gem Mint 10. And with this, it means I actually have all of the first few elemental heroes up to Elemental Energy as Gem Mint 10s. So the Thunder Giant, the Flame Wingman, and then the fusions from Elemental Energy as well. So a very cool set. They're all European print, which is pretty crazy. I'll have to make a picture of that for sure sometime with all 6 of them. So yeah, that does it for my part of the submission. I just wanted to show you guys one more really cool card. This isn't mine, but I graded this for a buddy of mine in the same submission, which is a Judgment Dragon PSA 10 European print. So again, not my card, and it's not for sale if anyone's thinking about that. But I've never actually seen a European print copy of this card getting a gem before, so I figured I'd show you guys that one before we wrap up this video. Alright, and with that being said, that's pretty much everything that I have for now. Overall, it was a great PSA submission, one of the best I've had for a while. We got a lot of gems. I want to say almost 50%, but I'm not sure the exact ratio there. But yeah, very good ratio of gems, including gems on some pretty big cards that I didn't expect, like the 2 Doomfires and the Rampart Blaster as well. So overall, I really can't complain at all. I ticked off a lot of stuff from my collection as a result of this submission, so I'm very happy. And yeah, with that being said, this is Schlost signing out, and I hope you guys all have a great day.